It's a floating museum, a bed and breakfast, and a way to keep Great Lakes history alive. It's the SS City of Milwaukee in Manistee, and Kaylin Franks is there for tonight's Hometown Tourist.
Hey everybody, from Manistee. That's where we are this week for Hometown Tourist. We're checking out the SS City of Milwaukee. If you've ever driven on 31 through town, surely you have seen this old rail car vessel. It was a freighter taking rail freight across our Great Lakes, and we're headed on board.
We are the last of the traditional rail car ferries. It would carry about 28 to 30 boxcars on board, and it would take any manner of products across the lake.
The SS City of Milwaukee is docked in Manistee, and this floating museum can't be missed.
This ship and other car ferries was very important because back in the late 1800s, the rail yards down in Chicago were just a mess, and freight could get lost down there. So developing a ship that you could load your rail cars right at the dock and take it across the lake within 5 hours and unload at the other side.
A tour here includes a visit to the hull of the vessel, where rail cars were packed in like sardines. Upstairs, the passenger quarters are a definite highlight because traveling back then was so different.
They would take passengers across the lake also along with the freight. And so they had an area it's just gorgeous with the oak and the brass, and they have small staterooms where you could either take a nap or just wanted some privacy as you're going across the lake. And they're very, very interesting. It's a step back in time, so it's kind of cool. They're very surprised at the beauty in the interior of the ship.
Visitors also have the opportunity to stay on board the ship during special events, and the tour shows nearly every corner of this special vessel. And since the group is a nonprofit, while you take your tour, you can know that you're helping keeping Great Lakes history alive.
To save it for future generations to learn about our early Lake Michigan heritage. It is completely different than what we have now. I mean, before you would come on board, if you're traveling, you'd be dressed to the nines. I mean, you traveled looking well. And now, we're all running around in our blue jeans, and comfort is the big thing. But yeah, it's stepping back into the 1930s and learning what life was like back then. So it's very interesting and educational.
It really is a step back in time. And in the end, a visit to the SS City of Milwaukee right here in town in Manistee cannot be missed. It's fun for the whole family, and you get to walk aboard this vessel and just sort of see what transportation was like in the 1930s. Join me next week for another edition of Hometown Tourist. I'm Kaylin Franks.